ma'am. Okay, I'm trying to take my journalism selfie. The British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh. Hello, hello, hello. This is your host, Eden Chipperfield, with your top news headlines at 11. Kamloops families will now have access to 52 new licensed childcare spaces at the recently rebuilt Parkcrest Elementary School. Parliamentary Secretary for Childcare Rohini Arora says that the new spaces provides families and early childhood educators bright starts. More good news includes new childcare spaces through a province partnership with the Kamloops Thompson School District to create more childcare spaces through a $2 million investment from the Childcare BC New Spaces Fund. The province has partnered with Kamloops Thompson Secondary School District to create new childcare spaces through a $2 million investment from the Childcare New Spaces Fund. School District 73 Board Chair Heather Grieve says it is important to recognize access to childcare and thanks YMCA BC for their commitment and support to providing learning spaces at Parkcrest Elementary. Canada's international ranking on gender party in politics has plummeted over the past 25 years, and advocates say that every federal political party needs to do better. The Interparliamentary Union now ranks Canada 71st place in terms and percentage of women in national parliaments, a steep drop from its 28th place ranking in 2000.
Economic uncertainty, political insecurity, and climate change all affect women and men differently. Our voices need to exert influence over decisions being made on our behalf. Sustaining the status quo, permitting men to retain 70% of the power, is a choice, and it's a choice that undermines trust.
Ottawa is asking the federal court to overturn a Canadian Human Rights Tribunal order directing it to work with First Nations to reform the child welfare system, and for a new panel to be struck to determine next steps in nearly 2-decade-long legal battles. The order released in August came 9 years after the tribunal concluded that the federal government has discriminated against First Nations children by underfunding the on-reserve child welfare system following a joint 2007 human rights complaint filed by the Assembly of First Nations and the Caring Society. Progress on a child welfare agreement stalled when First Nations twice rejected a $47.8 billion deal last year, and Ottawa told the tribunal in May that the requests were being put to where it was reasonable. Then the tribunal said in August that Ottawa cannot simply wait and let time go by instead of renegotiating a deal with First Nations. It said that if Ottawa refuses to resume negotiations, the Assembly of First Nations, the Caring Society, and the newly formed National Children's Chiefs Commission could present the tribunal with an evidence-based reform plan of their own. In a statement posted to social media, Indigenous Services Minister Mandy Manasti says Ottawa intends to reform the system in partnership with First Nations and that the filing before the federal court will ensure reform is flexible, sustainable, and inclusive of all partners. The spouse of Nova Scotia mass shooter is expected to publish a memoir about domestic violence. Lisa Banfield, who was married to the man who perpetrated the Portapique mass shooting in Nova Scotia, is set to publish her memorial recounting the abuse she endured during the relationship. The first survivor, Life with Canada's Deadliest Mass Shooter, is set to be published in January 2026. Banfield wrote the book in collaboration with her sister, Maureen Banfield, and journalist Sherry Aikenhead. In the book is both a call to action and a personal account to shift society's response to victims of intimate partner violence. Several UK charities have cut ties with Prince Andrew's ex-wife, Sarah. In Burnaby, it is currently 16 degrees.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT.
The hands-on part of the program is the main thing that drew me to the program, and it's the main thing that I'm taking away from this program. There's no experience like just being able to go out and practice and do the work, and been able to do that both here in the newsroom, out on the internships, multiple internships that I've been able to go on, and I think it'll serve me very well.